Hello, you guys. I'm so excited to be recording this training for you guys today. I'm so pumped. This is all about how to write posts that sell high-end packages. And I don't want to waste any of your time. I want to dive straight in. I'm a great rambler. See, if I commit to not rambling, then I just ramble about rambling. So here's how this training is going to work, okay? I'm going to take you step by step through the 5 steps to writing a post that sells, okay? Between each step, I'm going to pause for 30 to 60 seconds. I'm actually going to get my timer ready. That way you have time to write your post as we go. So this is, think of it as not a sing-along, but a write-along, okay? So I actually really took time to think about how I wanted this training to work, because it's not hard to go find trainings on how to make more money and how to sell and how to fill your programs and how to write great content. I actually want this to be a productive hour for you. So that is why this is structured the way it is, where I'm going to just share with you the steps, give you a chance to write. If you give me your full attention here and you put away your distractions, your phone, your desk that's covered in everything, and you just really be present with me, probably open up either your notes app on your phone or your computer, get a document out, maybe Google Doc or something like that. Maybe just open up Facebook, although, are you like me? Have you ever had Facebook close out on you while you write your post? That sucks. But anyway, get something out so you can write your post, because I want this to be a really productive hour for you, okay? After this training, after our about maybe 45 minutes together going through this training step by step, I'm going to share a way for you to get more support from me if you feel like you need it and you desire it. But my promise to you is that you will leave this training, if you give me your full attention, with a post that is like the most epic post you've ever written that you can actually use to go make some sales. So I have a free gift for you, okay? It's very important to me that you stick with me this entire training, okay, which will be about 60 minutes. I'm actually going to give you at the end of this my free discovery call swipe copy, where I share with you 2 posts and 2 email examples that I used when I was brand new, before I was making multiple 6 figures and all of that, to actually book discovery calls, all of which led to pay in full clients for my programs. Who wants that? I want that. I have it. I made it. So at the end, I'm going to give you a really easy bit.ly link where you can go and grab that, okay? So this is for you. I want to make sure you are in the right place. This is not for every type of business out there. I am an expert, but for a very specific niche, okay? I don't want to waste your time. So this is for you if you know you are good at what you do and that the work that you do is important to get into the world. So quick check, is that you? This is also for you if you're passionate about your message and you actually desire to share your story with the world, okay? This is for you if you're already doing the work that you know to do on a daily basis, but you're stuck making maybe a few $1,000s a month or a few $100s a month, or maybe you're not making anything. And finally, this is going to be for you if you desire to sell high-end packages like $5,000 packages, $10,000 packages. And let me be even more specific here, you guys. This is for you if you are an online coach, business coach, health coach, relationship coach, life coach, something in one of those umbrellas, or maybe a high-end service provider as well, such as a graphic designer, a brand strategist, a web designer, a copywriter, a Facebook ad agency, something like that. All of those types of businesses have used this training and my work to scale their businesses really successfully. So that's who this is for. This isn't necessarily for network marketing or MLMs or product-based businesses, just because that's not what I do and that's not what I typically am helping my clients with. So you're welcome to stay, but I just wanted to be very clear with you on who this training was actually made for, so you know that you're in the right place and you should be paying attention. So my promise to you is that this training is going to be like any other training that you've done, okay? Seriously, that's my training. That's my promise of this training. By the time this workshop is done, if you go along with me, okay, you've got to do your part, you're going to have the following: a genius list of topic ideas, okay? So probably enough content to get you through the rest of the month or longer. A completed or almost completed post that you can go use to promote your services, and a clear understanding of how to write a post that sells. I don't know about you, but to me, I feel like these three things are very, very valuable. Actually know what to write about over the next month to get sales. Have a post that you feel like is one of your best posts ever that you actually feel really confident could attract in a client. And above all, what's important is I just want you to understand what really makes a post sell. And I know if you pay attention with me today, you will definitely understand that because I'm going to make it crystal clear. So really quick, for those of you that don't know me, I think it's really important to know why you are listening to a coach or a mentor. There's plenty of them out there, some of which that know what they're doing, some of which that don't, some of which you're going to really resonate with, some of which you really won't resonate with. So I just want to tell you a little bit about me. I have 2 slides to share my story, share what I'm good at, so you can decide if I am the type of person you want to listen to, pay attention to, and learn from. So my first 6 months as a coach, okay? One thing you need to know about me, you guys, is I don't take things too seriously. I trip over my words. I often have typos in my content. There's probably going to be a typo or two as we go through this. And sometimes you may even catch me stuttering, okay? So this photo is when I first started my business in early 2016. Okay. I started this business like at the end of 2015, beginning of 2016. So this is from, I'm assuming maybe January or February 2016. Gosh, how long was that? Over 4 years ago at the time of recording this. So my first 6 months as a coach, I was barely signing 1 client a month. And it actually took me 3 months to get my first client. So 3 months go by, and then I finally get my first coaching client. It was a $3,000 client for 4 months, which was great. A little bummer that it took 3 months, but it was great. And then I got one the next month, and then I got one the next month. And then month number 4 of like signing clients and running a real business, no clients. Okay, that's what the first 6 months or so looked like. I was terrified that I just wasn't good enough. That's the truth. I'm actually very strategic. I pick up on tech things pretty well. I definitely have my fair share of struggles with writing and feeling confident with my writing and not having typos and having perfect grammar. I'm not the perfect writer, but I liked writing, and I really understood. I felt like I could understand, why things worked and why they didn't. And I really loved this online industry. So I had a lot of benefits going for me, but I was just terrified I wasn't good enough. I literally had mentally this mile-long list of reasons why people wouldn't want to hire me, right? I felt like I was probably too young. So at this time, I was 20 years old. I'm now 25. So I was starting business coaching at 20 years old. Like, who hires a 20-year-old to help them with their business? It was actually marketing, but it was to help people with their business, right? So I couldn't get over the fact that nobody would want to hire a 20-year-old. I also didn't have this like luxurious life, right? Like in this photo, I was making maybe $2,000 a month, which I know for some of you is like incredible and amazing. And maybe it's where you're at, maybe it's where you want to be. But the fact of the matter is, like, I was living in a rundown apartment in a bad area of town. Like all my clothes were like hand-me-downs or Goodwill, Walmart, maybe if we're getting fancy. Like I just didn't, when I looked at all these other really successful coaches, I didn't look like them. I didn't sound like them, and I didn't live a life like them. You get what I mean? And because of that, I kept thinking, am I good enough? Like, will people hire me? And I feel like I was very, very consumed with those thoughts. So I don't know if you resonate with that. If you do, I'd love to hear in the comments. I do see all of your comments, so I'd love to hear, but that's how I felt. I was doing the work that I knew to do every single day, like posting and trying to grow my audience. And I was using Facebook groups and Instagram, and I was actually very consistent, but something just wasn't working. Yes, I was making money. Yes, I was signing some clients, but it was just not clicking like I saw it clicking for all these other coaches, right? I was actually $10,000 in debt just for mentorships, not talking about college or any other type of debt, just for my mentors before I even signed a client at all. And I was 5 or 6 months into my business before I even got close to making that much back, let alone paying it off. I actually carried that debt with me for well over a year before I was able to like pay it off, right? So something just wasn't clicking. It was slower than it should have been, right? And I finally figured out how to write content that got results, which has a lot to do with being specific and being confident and being bold, which I'm going to teach you today. Okay. My content started blowing up. My group grew by over 1,000 members in 48 hours for free because of one post. I signed 5 clients in a week. So it was 1 client a month, and then no clients 1 month, and then 5 in a week. 10 months into my coaching business, after, if you just heard the first 6 months, 10 months in, I started signing 10K clients, which was insane. I started having 10K plus cash months. Then I started having 20K plus cash months. I actually ended my first year of coaching with a $40,000 cash month. So I made over $179,000 cash that first year, even with the struggles I had. So if you're listening to this and you're in a similar situation where the year is just flying by and you're not seeing progress, or you're seeing very little progress, or you feel stuck or plateaued and you're never going to hit your goal, when it clicks, and it can grow very, very quickly. Right now, I'm having $50,000 cash months consistently. I'm making $400,000 or $500,000 a year and growing quickly because it just amplifies and compounds and it works. Okay. If you can get out there and have content that stands out, who feels like that's their struggle? If you're being honest, you're like, my content doesn't stand out. I can check most of the other boxes, but my content doesn't stand out. How are you going to get clients online if your content doesn't stand out online? That's what we're going to talk about, okay? So let's do this. Super pumped. So step 1, we want to choose the topic of our post. And this is actually really, really important, okay? This will typically overwhelm people, but I'm going to help you out. The best topics are the ones that haven't been said before. Who's already thinking what? How can I come up with a topic that's not said? There's no point in writing a post that nobody's going to read, and nobody is going to read a post that's been said 5,000 times before. You feel me? If it's just post after post of the same stuff, nobody's going to read it. Nobody wants to read it. So I want you to think about this. If you saw a post that talked about stop downloading freebies, would you read it? And maybe you haven't seen a post on this, but at the time of creating these slides, I remember seeing so many posts like that. Stop downloading freebies, stop getting free content, stop this, stop that. And it was all kind of the same gist. It was the same thing over and over and over again. And I just stopped reading that because I get it. I got the point, move on. People that are just very repetitive and kind of cookie cutter, doing the same thing as everyone else, they're not standing out to us as a mentor we want to hire, to be honest. And their content's definitely not standing out as content we want to read. Okay. So getting your post to stand out starts with 2 things, the headline and the topic. You need a good topic that's super specific, probably hasn't been done before, and you need a headline that clearly states that topic and gets people to stop scrolling and pay attention. So I want you to make a couple of lists. Okay, so this is where we're going to start our timer, and I really want you to participate in this because it's going to make your time so productive, okay? So I want you to think about your ideal client's day, right? From waking up in the morning to going to bed. What are the secret thoughts that they're thinking? And I'm starting my timer, so start writing, okay? What are these things that they're thinking about? When they wake up, what is their first thought? What are things that they're starting to worry about, wonder about? What feelings are they having? As they go through their morning and they hit about lunchtime where it feels like maybe their day's already halfway over, what are they thinking? What are they feeling? What are they stressing about? As they get into nighttime and it's time to maybe wrap up work or go home or whatever that looks like for them, what are they thinking about? What are they feeling? What are they worried about? What are they stressed about? What are they struggling with? And here's a really good thing to think about. When they go to bed, right? You're laying in bed, your ideal client's laying in bed at the end of the day, trying to go to sleep, but they can't get this thought out of their mind. They can't get this worry out of their mind. They're so frustrated they haven't figured out this thing. What is that? Okay. This is all going to be incredible content for you to create. See where I'm going? Okay. So the next thing I want you to think about, whoops, let's give you a second, is what has your ideal client tried recently that didn't go how they wanted it to? So starting our timer, start writing this. What has your ideal client tried recently that didn't go how they wanted it to? So for me as a business coach, I may be thinking they tried Facebook ads, they tried a webinar, they tried launching a course, they tried launching one-on-one, they tried booking some sales calls, booking some free calls. I could come up with tons of things that my ideal client is trying that's just it's not working. They're thinking it's going to be it and it's going to work, but it's not. What is that for your ideal client? Get as specific as you can, okay? If you're a health coach, maybe it's that they've tried this type of diet or that type of diet, or they tried calorie deficient, or they tried hiring this type of person or downloading this app, or like, what if they tried that wasn't it? It didn't fix anything. It wasn't the answer. Okay. What do they think they need to do? Or is their next step that you know is just going to waste their time? Pressing the timer on that one. What do they think they need to do? What do they think is their next step that you know is not the answer, right? So maybe if you're a relationship coach, I've had so many successful relationship coach clients, and in the things they tell me, it's like their client thinks like they just need to blame it on the other person, screw them, send them away, get on more dating apps, go on more dates, try a new relationship, and they just keep diving into the same problem over and over, right? They think they needed just a new man or a new partner, but there's actually deeper rooted issues. So by just getting on more dating apps and going on more dates, they're just going to be wasting their time getting themselves into the same cycle. Do you see what I mean? What are the things they think they need to do that is going to waste their time? Okay. So I want you to go back through your list and cross out any of those things that you've seen written about before, which is probably, I mean, it just depends on where your mind is right now, but like it very well could be that most of the things on your list are going to be crossed out. And I'll tell you how to deal with that. But this is what I want you to do, is just quickly cross out the things that have been said before. Especially those things that you know your ideal client is seeing 55 times a day, right? Okay. So now you should be left with a list of genius content ideas that have not been talked about, or at least are not totally overdone. So you may feel like everything on your list has been talked about, but I'm going to assume that there's probably some things on your list that, like, yes, you've seen because you are obsessed with the industry you're in and you follow everybody in it and you're following these incredible people who know how to create incredible content. And so, I mean, everything in some way or another has been done, right? But we want to look for things that aren't totally overdone. What tends to happen is people start their business and they get so obsessed with being successful that they lose their creativity. I got to turn this essential oil thing off, like it's a little too strong. I think I added a couple extra drops. So we typically start our business, get super serious about it, want to be successful, and we leave all our creativity at the door. And we get online and we follow all the people in our industry who are where we want to be, who are super cool, super successful, and we accidentally basically copy their content, jump on the bandwagon. And unfortunately for our consumers, they're bored of it. So we want to find topics that aren't totally overdone, okay? So I want you to choose the topic that you feel most excited about. Which one do you feel most relevant to you, most relevant to your audience, just easiest for you to write about right now? Pick that topic, circle it, pick it, whatever. Let's turn it into a headline. So here's my example. Okay, and here's how you can actually take a topic Like, I think this is like a really great headline. So it's very unique, I feel like. Do you see how it's so specific? And odds are nobody who reads this will 100% relate. Do you feel what I mean? Like nobody, has anybody else done 30 free sessions just to maybe sign 1 or 2 clients? Yes, but no, like it's so specific. Like maybe they did 12, maybe they did 5, maybe they did 60. Like maybe they haven't even done any free sessions, but they get it because they've done something similar, like a webinar, right? So I'm getting very, very specific. So my topic is maybe the fact that you don't need to do a bunch of free sessions. Like you think you need to do free sessions to get your business up and running, but that's going to waste your time. So instead of necessarily saying that, which is still pretty unique and I don't even think has been really talked about much before, it's an interesting stance. It's a different stance, which is crucial. But I'm going even deeper with it and getting so specific with numbers and like a vibe, right? Like just to maybe sign 1 or 2 clients. Okay. So the key is picking a pretty unique topic that hasn't been overdone and then getting really, really specific with it. Add some numbers, add some real feelings. Okay. And all the fear of leaving somebody out, don't even worry about it. So this needs to be specific, right? Not how to be fulfilled in your life, ready to finally lose the weight. Why aren't you signing clients? Stop using Facebook ads. That's another one that I've seen a lot. It needs to go deeper, right? Ready to finally lose the weight. Get so specific. Talk about, I think like, let's talk about weight loss and health. I think something that's overdone is skinny jeans. Right? Like I feel like every weight loss coach, health coach, diet program has talked about finally button those skinny jeans, feel good in your skinny jeans, right? Let's talk about a different thing that's not talked about as much. Let's talk about the way something else fits. Let's talk about the way something else looks. Like let's find a different angle. Okay? See what I mean? Let's talk about the mom pooch. Let's talk about the way their shirt fits. Let's talk about the way their shirts or jackets fit on their arms. Let's talk about the way they feel when they look in the mirror, but like in a different way than everyone else is. How to be fulfilled in your life. You got to go deeper. You got to go deeper. Okay. I want you to get so specific. Okay. So this will help you even more with this. The step 2. So hopefully by now you have your list of topics, you've picked a topic and you've created your headline. I'm kind of like, oh, I don't think I actually gave you a moment to write your headline. So let's write your headline if you have it. I'm going to give you guys 30 more seconds before we dive into step 2, okay? So again, like I don't remember. This is the headline. And we want it just to be so specific. Don't worry about it being perfect right now. My goal is that you have somewhat of a post written. Some of you are going to fly through certain steps. Some of you are going to struggle through certain steps. Perfectionism gets in the way. Just get something down because you can always tweak it after. And at the end of the day, you're never going to be that impressed with your own work. That's just how it works. So I want you to know, like, just get it done and post it. Like, let's not overthink it, okay? Okay, step 2. Tell their story. You need to show them that you know what they're going through. So the next part of a lot of my posts would be sharing exactly how they're feeling, exactly how they're going through with maybe just a few lines. Sometimes I go deep into this. Sometimes it's just 1 or 2 lines, okay? Obviously, I'm going to show you an example, but you want their reaction to this to be something like, how does she know I just went through that? Or like, wait, I'm not alone here. I'm not the only one going through this, because people feel crazy. People feel alone. People feel like nobody else gets it, especially because all the other posts are so surface level and cookie cutter and vague. It's actually hurting your ideal clients because they never really feel seen. You know, they think they're the only ones whose jackets are too tight on their arms, or who feel like maybe there's no right person out there for them to be with, or that, like, how humiliating is it that they just did so many free sessions and didn't even sign a client? They're not alone. Okay. So my favorite line for this is to start out. So you have your headline, and then I'll say something like, let me guess. Let me guess, you feel like this. You just experienced this. You want this, but you don't know how to da 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 da. Okay. So let's put it together. I'm going to start my timer. This is my example. Now, you can use a similar vibe to me, you guys, but just know every post is going to read a little different. So it's not like if we just made every post look exactly the same, it's not gonna, we need personality. We need it to be different. If everybody starts writing the same style of post like this, I have one post that looks like this. So sometimes I say, let me guess. Sometimes I just dive into it. Sometimes I do a timeline like this. So just know, like, try to not make yours look exactly like mine, but this is also just practice. So if you need to, it's okay. But I hope you can see my intention here is kind of like the fire is like boom, 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 like this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, like good things. And then it's like, oh wait, but then this happened, and this happened, and this happened, like the struggle part. So starting my timer for, I don't know, a minute so that you can write this section. Again, it may be 2 or 3 lines. It may be a couple paragraphs. It just depends on how deep you want to go, but you want to make them realize that you know exactly what they're going through. Okay? Also in this section, we tend to be using words like you, right? Like you had a post go viral. You had all these people book in. It feels like it's about to be your big break. It's their story, not yours. Okay. Step 3, tell your story. So this, again, may be short, it may be long. We don't want to worry about this, you guys. We want to express ourselves. So tell your story. I want you to show them that you've been there. We're not trying to be perfect. We're not trying to be know-it-alls. We want people to realize that, like, hey, I went through the same thing. Now I'm here, right? Which that might be step 4. But I want you to tell them your story. Just like I did in the beginning of this webinar, I showed you where I started. I tried to build a connection point. I was also just very authentic. Like, here's how I felt. And some of you feel exactly how I felt, and some of you may not, but I'm telling you my story to resonate with the people who are, plot twist, potentially meant to work with me in a bigger way. So this is really important, again, because you want them to truly see that you get where they are. And like I was saying, that you were on the other side. Okay. So you're showing them 2 things. 1, it's possible for them. 2, you are the one who can help them get there. So think back, when did you go through this? So most coaches and service providers do what they do because they struggled with this once upon a time. Maybe you still struggle with it. That's okay too, as long as you've gotten on the other side of it to an extent. Okay. When did you go through this? Now, some people have a lot of, I don't know, they just have clients that go through a certain thing over and over. Maybe you haven't necessarily gone through it, but you tend to really support clients in that way. Perfect. Some people get into coaching or service because they have a degree in something, they have a corporate background in something. So maybe they haven't struggled with it, and maybe they are just simply like, I mean this in a good way, but like the textbook expert. That's okay. Talk about clients, talk about someone you've helped. You do need some level of story, okay? Or maybe just talk about your background in it to really relate, like, hey, this isn't bizarre. You're not crazy. This is normal. Like, X amount of % of people feel this way, or like, I have a background in this, so I know, right? Do you know where I'm going with this? But ideally, you guys, if you have a story, you need to share your story. I'm just going to be very honest with you. Nothing sells better than story, period. People are craving connection with other humans. So I'll start my timer. This is my example. I share like, I'll start my timer in a second. That way you have a moment to look at this. But I remember like it was yesterday, I booked 17 free sessions in a week. I was sure this was it. My first 5-figure month, here I am. The calls went great. But most people were a no when I pitched, and it felt so awkward. Some said yes, and half of those yeses ghosted me. Half put down a deposit and then dropped out. Out of probably 100 free sessions I've done, I've signed 2, maybe 3 really great clients. I felt a lot of shame. I felt like I sucked at sales, or that nobody saw me as an authority. Some even pitched to me on my own free call, and another couple asked me to collaborate. Okay, so I'm sharing like, look, I get it. I've been there. So I'm gonna start my timer. That's my dog. He wants in. So we're about halfway through the timer, but I'll just say this as you're writing. What's so cool about writing content like this is you just let down your guard. You let down all that stuff of trying to be seen as perfect, and you let people in, and you let people see your humanness. And I'm going to also tell you, you guys, this is why I don't have to do sales calls. This is why I don't have to ever prove myself. People hire me because they know I'm human. They know I'm imperfect. They know I've struggled. And I used to have clients that really expected me to be perfect and always on point, and like, it was like a lot of expectation. It felt like a lot to live up to. And now it just feels like my clients are my friends, and I can't even fathom the fact that I get paid to help them and talk to them all the time. And it's just really incredible. And any sort of type of client issue, stress has gone away. Okay. Step 4, show them the gap. Okay. So you need to show them that what you teach is going to solve this problem for them. So I did this in the webinar as well, you guys. I said my story, and then I said, and then I realized how to write great content. That's the gap. So your gap, I don't want to say too much, but the gap could just be one line. Okay. So remember, this is a post that's meant to sell. So it should be targeted to people who need your help. Okay. This section should lead to something that you teach that they need to learn from you to get the result they want. So think of this section as kind of explaining like what changed, what they need to change, what to do from here, what action you took. Okay. So this for me is really long. I'm not going to lie. This is long. This is longer than I normally do. But it could be long. It could be short. This post, I feel like I'm teaching a little bit more than normal, but it literally could be as simple as I said in this webinar. And then I cracked the code. I figured out how to write content that sells. I figured out how to write content that noticed. I figured out how to write content that stands out. And then here's what happened. That's kind of how this could flow. So the way I worded it in this post is like, looking back now, right? Now that I consistently keep my coaching practice full, it wasn't my sales at all. It's that this is a shitty strategy. Excuse me for anybody that's not into the curse words, but right. And I shared why free calls don't work. And I shared that the missing piece is what I like to call cash containers. So I don't even really have to explain that. I'm just introducing the topic. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. Again, every single post is different, so don't think that this is like the best post in the world. Ideally, we want to really tie it together by saying something that they're going to understand, right? So they may not understand cash containers, but I explained why what I did didn't work, so you could take that approach. The gap is that doing free calls doesn't work, and here's why. Or the approach could be, the gap was that I learned how to create content that sells. Like, very, very to the point, the improvement you made, okay? I hope that makes sense. Every post is going to look a little different. The timer is started. I would say for the point of this webinar, let's keep it just like, and boom, I figured this was missing. I figured out that this was missing. I figured out how to, boom. Looking back, I realized I was missing this. Like, let's just keep it so to the point. Just being honest. Critiquing my own post. Okay, I'll shush. Okay, so step 5. We want to tie everything together with our pitch, okay? So we're going to go in to make the sale. Ready? So we want to tie it in with our pitch. So what I typically like to do is just simply introduce my offer. So this is exactly what I show you inside of Unleash. This is exactly what I show you in my private coaching package, Unlock, right? We want to, like, it can be that simple, okay? Or sometimes I'll say, that's why I created my program Show Up and Sell. Then I like to kind of pick a important branch of the pitch. So I think things that are really great to talk about when you pitch your offer, the results that people have gotten, what it covers, what's it all about, or exactly who it's for. So you can talk about all of those inside one pitch and make it quite a bit longer, or you could pick one. So I'd say introduce your offer, make it very clear what you're talking about. Say the name of the program and then a tagline. Don't overthink your tagline, but just like, this is exactly why I created my course Unleash, which is my 6-week program to help you have your first 6-figure year. Simple, to the point, quick, very specific, okay? And then go into one of these branches. This program will help you, bullet points. This program will cover da-da-da-da-da. This program is perfect for bullet points. And then just make sure you have that really, really, really clear call to action, right? To join us, click here. Whoops, wrong way. So, mine again is a little bit longer here, but I explained the results and I explained what we cover. And then I told them I can't wait. So let me set our timer so that you can write this. So again, introduce it. Tell them that this is why you created your program, or this is exactly what your program covers. And then just tell them why it's epic. I'll give you a minute here. I want to add that you always want to be really clear in your call to action, by the way. I just want to make sure that's really clear. Clear call to action. Join us by going here. Ready to join? Click here. Sound like exactly what you need? Here's the link. Okay. So that's that. Those are the pieces. A really great content. That's the whole thing. Step 1, a really great topic and headline. Step 2, tell their story so they know you know what they're going through. Step 3, tell your story so they know you really get it. You've been there. There's connection. Show your results. Okay, I always want you to put a piece of your results. Don't feel bad to brag. Like, people need to know what's possible. Show them the gap, and then pitch your offer and have a really clear call to action. That's the process for posts that sell. So Before we wrap this up, I have two really important things I want to tell you, okay? One, don't use my post as your template. I mentioned this. I want you to really practice writing your own words and letting it flow. The more you do that with using understanding, right? Remember when I told you what you would get from watching this? The third thing was an understanding of what needs to go into a post. That's what matters. It doesn't matter how you say it, or if you bullet point it, or how long it is, or you just say it. You just touch on those points, boom, 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 and let it flow. And you're actually going to create some really unique sounding and looking posts in the feed, which is when this is really going to work. Okay? There is no right way to write a post. The goal of this training is simply to show you the key pieces that work really well to sell. When you find yourself feeling stuck, especially when you're trying to make it perfect and you get really in your head, just write. Just write. I'd rather you say something than nothing. And so many people spend so long in their head, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't flow. It's not perfect. Post it. Because A, you are so much harder on yourself than anyone else. So you're probably wrong. You're probably just being really hard on yourself. It's one of the hardest things about being a coach. And B, you're going to be perfect. And C, the only way to get close to perfect is practice. And practice does not mean obsessing over one post. It means writing a post. Like, write something every day. Practice post, practice post, practice post. Okay. I hope that this helps you. You may still have questions, right? There's so much more that goes into a business besides just writing sales content, sales posts, right? So you may be wondering, like, where should I post this content? What if my following is small? How am I supposed to grow my following? What other type of content do I need? Because you need to be growing a community. You need to be nurturing your audience. It's common sense. You can't just sell all of the time. I mean, you can, but there's also other pieces to the formula, right? What if my program doesn't feel aligned, or I don't feel confident in the details of it? Am I charging the right amount? Am I good enough for people to want to hire me over other options? How do I show up as an authority? And also, this is really important if you're wondering things like, what if my sales process sucks, right? Like, what do I say on the sales call? What do I say when someone messages me that they're interested? What if I launch and people are clicking but not buying? Like, all these things are questions you still might have. If that's true, I invite you to stick around and hear about my 6-week program Unleash. I would love to share with you the details of this. If these are not questions that you have, this is the perfect time for you to go sign off, post your post, and keep practicing what I've taught you today. Okay? No problem either way. But if these are your questions, I have something that can help you, so I can't help but share it. So I'm going to introduce you to a few people who have done Unleash. So meet Christy. She joined my course in November. This is actually now a couple of years ago, which is really cool. This course has been running since 2017. She signed 2 business clients before joining this, right? But she was terrified to leave behind her old business that just wasn't aligned anymore, and the following she'd built and the money that came along with it. And because she had only signed 2 business coaching clients, and because while her fitness coaching business was successful, it wasn't making a ton of money. So she also was getting in her head about, like, do I have enough experience to be good at this? Am I good enough? That's what all of us are wondering. These are updates she shared, not even 1 month into the program. Actually, it says right here, 1 week into the program, and she had made $12,000 sales, $9,500 cash. That's why I have to share this with you. December, again, just about a month after joining. Today may have been the best day of my life. I started out the morning with a $3,500 cash sale for my mastermind, meaning she received that in full, right? Then she got on the phone with somebody about her one-on-one, or she talked to them via Messenger, and this person signed up for the payment plan, which was $11,500, meaning she had her first $15,000 sales day. Okay? When she wrote this post, she realized that she had crossed her first $20,000 month after only ever signing 2 clients before. Then in January, she had a $60,000 cash month and had already surpassed six figures in her business. And it had only been October, November, December, January, 4 months, six figures in 4 months. Like, is that crazy? Yeah, that's crazy. This is Susie. So Susie also joined the course at the same time. She had been creating 5K months, and she wasn't sure if she was ready for 10K, so she went for the goal of 7K. Perfect, right in the middle. She was already traveling the world, but not enjoying it as much as she should be because she had very low boundaries, and she didn't want to turn money away, didn't want to turn clients away, and so she was like working a lot. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that, right? Here's what she shared. Again, you guys, not even 1 month into the program. She said, I signed up to this program with a goal of $7,000. Last week, I smashed that goal at $11,000. Now I'm in flow. Everything feels so easy. I just signed another 2 clients in the last 24 hours to get started in January. $14,500 in 24 hours. Are you kidding me? I've never made so much money in my business. $25,000 a month. This is Shannon. Well, let me show you. This is Shannon. So Shannon, this is one of my clients, Nicole. We met at a event that I held a little while ago. So this is Shannon in the red. Shannon came to me making $2,000 to $3,000 a month and charging $3,000 for her coaching. 5 months later, she signed her first $12,000 client. She had had an $8,000 cash day, and she had since had multiple 5-figure months. Shannon had the same fears as you guys. I remember her saying things like, am I good enough to charge 10K? I don't have mind-blowing testimonials. I don't have this super cool story. I remember her asking like, why isn't my content working? I'm posting every single day and I'm getting crickets. And sharing, how can I stand out to my ideal client when there are already these amazing coaches living amazing lives and I'm just me? It's exactly how I felt. And again, this is what she had done. She had those exact same fears, the exact same limiting beliefs, but because she did this program and did the work and got out of her own way and decided to lead herself through these things, she had a $12,000 client, an $8,000 cash day. She had multiple 10K months. Crazy. So, are you ready to unleash your 6-figure badass? That's what this program is. Unleash your 6-figure badass. So module 1, we cover your 6-figure mindset, right? How do 6-figure business owners think? How do you get over a mindset block, right? You know, when you just feel blocked, like I know what I should be doing. I know what I'm capable of, but I just can't. Something's blocking me. I'm going to give you a 3-step process to get over any block. I'm also going to teach you how to set income goals in a way that actually let you hit those goals instead of continually setting goals you never hit. Module 2, who doesn't want this? This is why people get results so quick, because we just dive straight into selling, magnetizing paying customers to you. Okay. Discover the 2 things you need to be really clear about in order to hit your goals and hit consistent 5-figure months. Get crystal clear on who your ideal client is, crystal clear on how to speak to them, how to attract them in your content. My copy hacks, how I write posts, emails, sales pages. Module 3, creating sold out offers. So you may already have offers, you may not, you may be in the middle of making one, but I'm going to teach you how to create an offer that's no brainer for your clients, meaning of course it sells out. How to convey the value of your offer. So who feels like I just can't like convey how valuable it is. I can't get the benefits down. I can't show them how tangible it is. No matter what type of coach you are, we can create tangible results. I'm going to actually give you a full breakdown of how I plan my launches that have allowed me to have 50K cash months, 10K cash weeks, sell out all types of offers, including high-end one-on-one courses, group programs, masterminds, events, and more mindset. There's mindset sprinkled throughout all of this, but lots of tangible, exactly what to do, step-by-step, how to do it, when to do it, strategy. Module 4, becoming the leader of a community. A cash generating community, how to step into being a leader in the industry, how to create your community, the exact tasks I do to keep my group, my email list, and my social media growing every single day and bringing sales in every single week, pretty much every single day. Learn my cash container strategy, which is like so good. That allows a brand new community to generate 5 figures cash per month for your business. You guys, creating 10K a month, it seems like this huge deal. It's not that hard. There's really only a few things that you need to be doing consistently, but you need to be doing them well in the right way to do this. And you can start doing it in your first month of business. So even if you're a few years in and you're just frustrated, like I just showed you these results. Some of the women were brand new. Some had been in business for years already. We're just going to crack these codes for you so you can make this much money. You deserve to. You're ready to. You're ready to now. Okay. Module 5, marketing strategy of a 6-figure business. I'm going to tell you the 5 things I do every day. I'm going to tell you the 2 reasons people don't buy and how to fix that in all of your content so they do buy. And I'm going to give you my exact content schedule so you know what to post, when to post, where to post. Module 6, sell like a sales queen. How I write sales pages. My transparent sales method. So I never get on the phone with people who don't have the money, and I only get on the phone with people who are ready to go. My go-to sales hacks. I never feel icky, pushy, desperate, and I have an amazing conversion rate on my sales calls, literally nearly 100%. It varies between 80 and 100, depending on the month. So on the sales page, you're going to see that there's just like endless testimonials, and I have way more than are even on the page. That's the crazy thing. There's just too many, which is again why I'm sharing this with you guys. So Fabi was a web designer and brand strategist, and she used this program to have her first 10K client. She's actually gone on to have upwards of $40,000 months in her service-based business. Anna, who's a coach, made her first $4,000. Shannon, this is her celebrating her 12K client I told you about, which was for a 4-month package if anyone is interested. Mackie, she sold $2,400 for her mastermind in 2 days. Kiki was somebody who kind of took a little bit of time to like see the results and get going. But she said, if anyone had told me 8 days ago the past week would bring me 2 new clients, $10,000, I would have laughed. It's only given me the drive to go onward and do more. This program is gold. Taylor, thank you so much. So here's what you get. 6 modules with over 20 videos. I broke these videos down into little short bite-sized pieces. So as soon as you have 10 or 15 extra minutes, you can go learn the next thing. This is meant to get you to your first 5-figure month in 6 weeks, and also do so in a way that's consistent and that you can repeat. Clearly defined homework for each video. You will always know what to do. A Facebook group that you get lifetime access to mastermind in with the other women and share your wins. I'm coming into this group, or my team's in this group nearly daily. Lifetime access to the course, the Facebook group, any bonus materials, any edits. Occasionally I do run this program live, maybe once or twice a year, and everybody's invited to join again. I've had people go through this program 5 or 6 times. So it's not a small investment, but considering what's possible in this program and how much information you get, and that literally this is the foundation of a 6-figure business. And here's the truth that I want to tell you. I have wondered, is this program too old? Is it old news? Is it still good? And I've gone back through this program, and it is literally still what I do every single day, every single week, and every single month to be where I'm at now, making $50,000 plus months. So I can't not sell this. I can't not share it with you. It's a $1,200 investment. We also have a monthly payment plan where you can pay 4 monthly payments of $327. So that's about $100 in interest. So you can get started and get all of this information for $327. I know you can make that money back. So this course was designed so that you 10x your ROI in 6 weeks or less. As you've seen, many students do that in 3 weeks, or they 20x their ROI in 3 or 4 weeks, over and over and over and over. So you'll probably see a button on this page somewhere that you can click, but this is the link, thetaylorlee.com/unleash. Okay. Bonuses. I have 6 bonus modules, 6 hours of content that you're going to get. Things like creating your vision, creating content that magnetizes clients to you, letting go of the shoulds, cutting your work hours in half, team, getting more people in your offers. You're also going to get my webinar training. My webinars will usually make about 10K per week when they're running, especially when I'm hosting them live. So I'm going to teach you that. You get my sales funnel training on how I go from freebie to private client. Passive income training. This is something everybody needs. I have a strategy I'm going to show you in my passive income training with no extra work. You'll start making an extra $1,000 or more a month. Crazy. And it explains exactly how to even get to that number as well. And you also will get my 5-figure Facebook group course. Cool? So you have all the strategies at your fingertips, everything you could need or want. This offer is only available to you for the next 48 hours. So whenever you're watching this, you have 2 days to decide if this is for you or not. So you probably feel it right now. Like, is this what you need? Does this fill the gap? Are you ready for this information? When you go to the sales page, you're going to be able to see the testimonials, the modules, the concept. I've already explained it all here, but you can read through it more in depth. And I want you to just pay attention, like, is this what I'm missing? Would this support me right now? Would this help me get to the next level right now? And if so, I would love to have you. If you have absolutely any questions, there's a chat box, and me and my team respond to every single question that comes through. So put your question in the chat box now, and we will get you the exact answer that you need. Okay, remember that gift I told you about? After all of that, shake it out. So excited to meet who's going to be in Unleash, you guys. Like, I haven't gotten rid of this program. Like I said, like, it's literally what has helped me so much. And it is everything I'm doing and using. This is my signature program. I've had close to 300 people, well over 200 people go through this program, which is why there's so many testimonials. And also because it works really well. And just every time people continually get really incredible results. It's simple, but it's how you build a business that will support your life. Okay? Okay. Your gift. This is the link. bit.ly/disco-call-swipe. This is where you're going to get the free download. You don't have to enter your name or email. We already have that, so you don't need to enter it again. It's just straight to the Google Doc file. And this is a PDF file where you have 4 examples, 2 posts, 2 emails that I've actually successfully used to sign high-end clients. Use those as examples. Use them as kind of templates, but remember, let your own voice shine. But feel free to utilize those, and even just pay attention to like different examples of posts that work to sell versus just what I showed you in the training today. And remember, if you have questions like this, content that sells is so important. And for many of you, it may be the gap. It may be the one thing you've been missing. But for some of you, there's a lot of other questions here, a lot of other missing pieces, which can feel really overwhelming, but it's not. It's honestly, Unleash is like a 3-part system. It's so simple, but I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it if you have questions like this. Okay. So again, thetaylorlee.com/unleash. You have 48 hours to come join us. If you have any questions, put them in the chat box, and I will see you inside. Bye, guys.